Yes.
How do you feel?
Surprised. I guess surprised.
So did you like how you were represented?
Huh?
Did you like how you were represented, like how they portrayed you?
I love WeTV. I really do. And, my past is, I just got out of prison when that was aired. And so I probably didn't make the right choices. I probably didn't do things right. Like, I was like a kid in a candy store. Everything was like new to me, you know what I mean? And if Scott's going to sit here and just give and give and give, well, I was like, I'm going to take it because I was brand new out of prison. I didn't have a pot to pee in, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I did, you know what I mean? And so it was a little rough, you know what I mean? But it's, Scott, like, kind of put money, like, he used money to make me happy. And it's like, that was like the old way I was. And I was trying to break those habits. And it's hard when, you're doing it for so many years and you're here a hustler for so many years. And then all of a sudden, you're trying to change your ways. And then you got this guy just give and give and give. And it's like, well, how are you going to change like that? You got a guy that's just giving you. You know what I'm saying?
If your ass don't give it, I'm going to take it. Like, what?
Right. Like, I was like, giving me this money, giving me your credit card. Like, what am I supposed to do, right? Like,
if somebody gives you
not taking it, I mean, huh?
If somebody gives you a credit card and not give you a limit, it's like, I would do the same, honestly.
I mean, there was no limit, and I didn't know I was going to spend that much, like, because I didn't even look at price tags, and now I look at price tags, trust me, and I got coupons, I have an app for coupons, I'm like, but at the time, I just got out of prison, I was just like, oh my goodness, free clothes, like, you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, he kind of, in my opinion, he kind of gave you the thought, like he gave you a car. He gave you his credit card. He just said spend what you want. Like, he's giving you that, I cannot think of the word.
He acted like he had all this money. Like, he acted like he had tons and tons of money. Like, I could spend whatever I wanted. And I'm just like, okay, well, if he's telling, maybe he should have a conversation and said, hey, listen, this is the limit. This is how much I have. Please don't go over it. Here's a budget. There was no budget. There was no budget put in place. He was just like, he wanted to basically, use money as a control. You know what I mean? Because it's like, he keeps giving me money. He keeps me happy. You know what I mean? Because that's what I used to do, You give me money, I'm happy. You know what I mean? And so that's how I used to be.
Right. So did you have, like, actual love for him? Like, did you actually love Scott?
I did, yeah. He was, like, the only guy I told I was a heroin addict, and he was okay with it. And I thought him being okay with it was like, oh, my goodness, like, he cares that I'm this horrible person, and he doesn't even, he doesn't even want, he wants me, you know what I mean, as a horrible person. And I'm just like, I thought that was, like, love. I thought that was, like, okay, I can tell him anything. I can, do, anything, and he still loves me. So when I got out of prison, he was a different person. That's not the person I met in the letters. That's not the person. He was two different people.
I think he was really insecure because it became real to him because you were out and it was tangible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
if he's insecure, he's using his money as a way to kind of appeal to you?
Right, yeah. That's what, I was in prison. Like, I was behind bars, you know what I mean? And he contacted me, He's the one, I had an ad up on Meet MA, and he contacted me. And, like, I remember, like, the very first month that I talked to him, I said, look, I'm a heroin addict, and I need $1,000 from my dope. And he said, okay.
Damn.
Right.
Right. I was like, really? Yeah, you're okay with this? Like, you're okay with giving me money? You realize what you're just doing right now, okay? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay, that's, So, yeah, in the beginning, he was a trick. Like, because I was like, what, you just giving me $1,000 and known you 1 month? Really? And I haven't sent no sexy pictures. I just talked to you on the phone. I haven't done any of that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I was like, yeah. Very crazy, huh?
In the show, it made it look like the moment you found out that he was broke, you broke up with him. Like the moment you found out he couldn't give you something, you were out.
Well, the show, it's a TV show, and they edit a lot, you know what I mean? That actual fight went on for a while. It wasn't like, what you guys see, you know what I mean? So there was a lot more conversation, you know what I mean? And it wasn't just it. What I basically said to Scott was that you keep throwing money in my face, and you keep holding money over me. And I said, you think that's what I want? You think I just want a man for money? I said, we constantly argue. Since I've been out of prison, we have like so many fights. I said, this is unhealthy. This is a very unhealthy relationship. And I said, and then he's like, well, I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to leave. And I'm like, you ain't got no money. I'm leaving. Like that's why I said that, because I couldn't get it through his head. You know what I mean?
He can no longer control you.
I was upset. I was so upset and so mad, because you can't get it through his head that it's like, dude, this is so unhealthy. Like, our relationship is very unhealthy.
Gosh. Is there anything you want to tell the people that you feel like you were setting the record straight about anything, or?
I just, you know what? Haters are going to hate. I mean, like, everybody thinks I'm this horrible person, I know who I am. I really do. You know what I mean? I know where I'm at right now. I'm great with God right now. I know I'm going to heaven. I mean, that's all that really matters, And it's a TV show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't see anybody, going up to The Rock or either Mel Gibson or any of them guys, Right? It's a TV show. I don't know.
No, that makes sense.
So, do you know any of the other casts that were on this season or last season?
I talked to Brittany on Instagram, but that's about it. I never met anybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So who's your favorite couple besides you and Scott, I assume, on the show?
Brittany and Marcelino, definitely.
Why is that? Why do they appeal to you?
Because they're so happy, and it's like they look like they got their crap together. Brittany didn't go back to jail. She's doing good. Like you know what I mean? Like seems like everybody else has been back to jail except me and Brittany. So it's like she's actually doing the stuff right that she's supposed to be doing. So I applaud her for that.
And on Instagram, it seemed as if you and Scott were in a relationship after the show ended.
We were, yeah. Yeah.
So was this the first time hearing about his new girlfriend?
Oh, yeah, yep. Yeah, I'm going to keep smiling, so I won't say anything really crazy. Okay, so when the show aired on Friday, there was like 3 weeks ago, there was a picture of Jasmine, I guess, right? On his Instagram. You guys remember that? Mm-hmm. There's a picture that popped up on his Instagram of another black girl that kind of looked like me, and everybody thought it was me. Mm-hmm. And I kind of went crazy because me and Scott were still together. And we were still together as the show aired on Friday. So why, if you're my man, why aren't you going to prepare me and say, hey, babe, I did some filming with this girl and make up something. Don't let me just find out from the TV show, like, you have a girlfriend and I'm your girlfriend too. So you have 2 girlfriends. Right. And one's probably living with you, and one's here in Wisconsin. I don't get it. Like, smiling. Just gonna smile on this.
That's all you can do. That's all you can.
Right. I was like, dude, are you trying to play both of us? What are you doing? Like, I have no clue on that one. That one's crazy.
So if you guys were dating, why didn't you go out to California to live with him? Like, why didn't you move out there?
I put in for an interstate transfer to transfer because I'm on parole. So I have to transfer all the way out to California. So my PO actually just cleared me to actually travel there on, I went to see her Thursday. So I was going to travel and see Scott. Yeah. he screwed that all up. And then I was putting in for my interstate transfer too. So, but I'm very single now.
Well, I mean, it definitely speaks to people saying that you were only with him for the money because you found out that he was broke and you stayed with him. So I don't.
Yeah, I still was with him. You know what I mean? And he did. Yeah, Scott's broke. He doesn't have money, and I still stayed with him, and I was with him up until Friday. And the reason why I broke up with him this time is because he has a girlfriend. And it's not me.
I mean,
so that's why I left Scott. There's no money involved this time, you guys.
But
that's all gone, right?
Right. Okay, so a few of our listeners wrote us questions that they wanted to ask you if you can answer. I mean, they're not even like, what's your birthday? What's your sign?
Oh, really? Yeah, of course. Okay, I'm a Virgo. My birthday is August 28th. Oh, you're a Virgo too? What?
I'm a Virgo. I'm the 24th, though.
Oh, you're 24, 40 is apart?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I always tease him for being a Virgo.
Why? Oh, because of the woman?
Yes.
Oh,
that's all I'll say.
So I'm sure if you can see the comments, people are very hard on you. How do you handle all this?
Oh, you know what? Like, I made it through 10 years of prison. I watched my best friend get murdered. I watched people get shamed. I mean, these are words. You know what? They're going to hate. They're going to hate. I know my self-worth. I know where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I try not to, feed into the negativity of them. And, I just keep a positive, look on it, because it's like, you're judging me on a TV show how I behaved on a TV show. And maybe if you hung out with me, I don't think you'd say that to my face. You know what I mean?
I don't think that either.
I don't think people will be like, you prostitute. They're not going to say that. You hoe. They're not going to say that every time.
It's really weird how many people follow you just to bash you.
Yeah, I know. I get some really cool people though that really, say don't let the haters, hurt you, and so those are like the positive ones that make me feel really good about myself, because they're total strangers, and if a stranger cares enough to lift my spirits up, I definitely respond back in the DM and thank them and talk to them and see how their day is going.
Yeah, you seem like a sweet person.
Thanks. I actually am. I'm not cold-hearted, man.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. When you explained your perspective as coming out of prison as a woman who used men for money, and then you have this man that's kind of dangling money in front of you, it's kind of unrealistic to think that you aren't going to take advantage of that.
I did 10 years. I came up with nothing. I should have saved the money that I got in prison, but spent it in my own.
Put us on game. Lizzy. Tell us the process. How do you get these men to give you all this damn money?
My secrets, My secret. It is a process. First of all, you got to put your ad on the Meet an Inmate site or a website, for conversation with, from inmate to regular persons on the street. Then you write them. You don't ask for nothing for the first 3 months. You might ask for a stationery pack. They have those in California prison. So you see if they'll send you a stationery pack, right? So So within those 3 months, you're talking to them, getting to know them, see if they'll put money on a phone, because you ain't gonna, you don't tell them right away you have a cell phone. You know what I mean? Because they gotta buy you a cell phone. So you call them on the regular payphone and everything, and you get to know these guys, and then you end up after 3 months, you ask them if they can put money on your commissary. $200 for your commissary. You say your mom forgot to do it or something like that. And then after about 6 months, after you get the commissary and everything, you ask them for a package, a quarterly package. So it's not you don't get it right away.
Right.
It's a job. It was a job. You know what I mean? So you're invested 6 to 10 months before you actually get the real money. You know what I'm saying? Because once they're invested in you for 6 to 10 months, they're gonna send you money for anything, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So how many do you communicate at one time, like with at one time? Are you talking to multiple dudes? Like this is a process.
Like,
You've got 10 dudes building.
Yeah, the most I ever had was 7. 7 at one time. It's a good number, 7. You know, it's a great number. I know. Like, and then, oh my goodness, let me tell you about Valentine's Day. Okay, so I was high on heroin. This is a funny story, right? So I'm high on heroin. I get everybody the same Valentine's Day card, right? So I'm on my bed, putting them in all the envelopes and everything, and I mail them out. Well, I sent Tim's letter to Bob, you know, Mike's letter to Bill. Like, I mixed everything up. I lost everybody except 2.
Oh man. Just feel like, oh man.
Yeah, I got 2 left.
You couldn't talk.
And then I did talk my way out of it. I told them that my roommate man is married, so we had to do different handwriting, and I sent it the wrong letter. It was some crazy lie. I don't know. It was stupid. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a heroin incident, and so now, you know, after that, I was careful when I did my Valentine's Day card.
Right.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was just curious about the process, like how you get these men to give you all of this money.
I think, you know, most of the men want to help somebody in prison. I think that's what it is, because I honestly didn't, there was only a couple times I sent sexy pictures, and they were never topless. They were just, you know, in like little lingerie and stuff like that. So it wasn't even about that. I think it was about the conversation, that they're lonely, you know, I'm not going anywhere. I'm stuck in prison, you know what I mean? So I think they were okay with that, you know what I mean, and helping somebody out. I think that's the what. I don't know. I don't understand it either. I really don't. You know?
Did you ever feel bad?
I don't get it, man. I'm in prison. You ain't getting nothing but communication.
Right.
God damn. So did you ever feel bad about it after? Like after you got the money, did you feel bad?
Not when I was in prison, because I was doing heroin. I didn't feel nothing. You know?
Prison?
Oh my goodness. It comes in either through visiting, through free world staff, or dirty cops. You know.
Damn.
Yeah.
So the movies are real.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Heck yeah.
You know, I mean, it has to come in through a way that people go on the outside. You know what I mean? You know, I was even thinking about making heroin until I realized that, you know, because there was a shortage one time, and so I Googled how to make heroin, and man, I needed barrels and all this stuff. I was gonna get a little cocoa plant. Is there a cocoa plant to make heroin, right? Yeah, I was gonna plant it in the backyard. I'm gonna plant it in the backyard. I would have my own heroin. I was like, yeah. Crazy high moment, you know.
Didn't work out.
Huh? No.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't do a cocoa plant.
So, like, now your normal day to day, like you have a job, you go to work.
Yeah, I have a great job. I drive a forklift.
Yeah, I saw that on your live the other day.
Yeah.
So then you do like a lot of volunteer work.
I just started volunteering at the animal shelter. I'm a cat cuddler. I love it. And so I get to go in there and cuddle the kitty cats and everything. And it's so nice, you know, and I need to give back. You know what I mean? Like I want to also, you know, volunteer at the at the old folks home too, and maybe play some cards with them. I learned a lot of card games in prison, and they like to play cards. That's it. You know, that's the next step. It's like I need to do something on my weekends so I don't get bored and go back to using. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How is that like coming along? Do you still like go to classes or anything to?
Yeah, I do my AA class. I have my AODA counselor or drug therapist, and then I meet with her once a month, and I do my AAs like 3 times a week. And then the biggest thing is that if I'm sitting at home bored, you know, I tend to like want to do something. So that's why I started volunteering on Saturdays, you know, and usually, usually I work on the weekends, mandatory weekends, but we've been very slow, so I haven't had mandatory weekend. But that usually saves me from like thinking about drinking or, you know, yeah.
Well, you can hit us up anytime.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. What else?
So, I think that is so. With your process of being like kind of battling addiction, is that how you kind of manage that? You do volunteer work and things of that nature?
I read my Bible every day. I go to church every Sunday. Like, God's a big part of that. Like, if I don't read my Bible, I feel so weird and so, like, just bad. Like, you know what I mean? So I put scriptures on every day, and that's, like, a big part of me staying clean. And so, you know, I also got to keep busy because I feel like if I just sit a little bit too long, I mean, I can sit at home and clean my house and do stuff like that. But it's like, you know, if I, you know, chill too long, I have to do something. I have to, you know, find something to do. I don't know, play on my Instagram for 5 hours.
So the car. A lot of people are curious about the car. Did Scott buy the car in cash and give it to you, or did he finance the car and it's in your name, or how does that work?
Scott put money in my bank account, and I took the money out of my bank account, and I purchased the car myself.
Oh, well,
yeah.
shit.
So the car is in my name, everybody.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know, I'm not giving back something that's in my name.
Okay, a lot of people are asking, what's your ethnicity?
I actually have it on my Instagram. I did like black and white, but it's on my Instagram under the ancestry.com. So if you go through my pictures, you see everything what I am.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm a beautiful mutt. That's what I am.
So what was your upbringing? Where are you from? Tell us a little bit about your upbringing.
I'm from Upper Michigan. I was born in Ontonagon, Michigan. I lived in Toivola, Michigan, and I lived on a farm. So I was a farm girl. And so I grew up with no alcohol, no drugs, no cussing. Like, I know, what happened, right? What happened? Somewhere around 15 years old, I think that all that changed. But yeah, I started drinking at 15 and started going to frat parties and everything like that. At 17, I became a stripper. So graduated high school at 17, became a stripper, and yeah, the rest is ready for a movie or book.
Okay. All right. So are you upset? Are you upset that Scott has another girlfriend? Are you happy?
I was because I was like, dude, like, he totally like played me. Whatever. Everybody's saying that's what I deserve, but I mean, no woman deserves to be like cheated on. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? And for me to find out that way, for me to find out through the TV, watching it on TV, like, not cool. I mean, he could have been a man and just said, hey, this is what happened, and you know what I mean? But, yeah.
So where'd you come up with this catchphrase, it's all in your head? Because that shit is iconic.
Oh, God, we love that.
I don't know. I got mad, and instead of punching him, I was like, it's all in your head. Right? Yeah. I know. I just patented it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
I know. Everybody's saying that.
What was this? Go ahead.
So, I think that's pretty much. How are you doing with technology now that you're out? Because I'm sure you were in jail for a while a lot was happening.
Yeah, I didn't even know how to do this live thing. I had no clue. I mean, I know how to go live on mine, but to join, I was looking for the pink circle, and I was like, where is it? Where is it? And I seen it pop up. I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't even know that. So I learned something new today. Yay.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
I think that's all that we had. And
Okay, awesome.
hold on, we got another one. Oh, so they're talking about something. I guess Scott said that, right? Who is Chris?
I don't know any guys named Chris. Let's see, I work with Tim. I work with Dale. Those are guys I know. I don't know a Chris. So, yeah, Scott's kind of upset. I don't know why. I don't even know why he's trying to even communicate with me because I have nothing to say to him. If Scott's watching this, I have nothing to say to you because you really did me dirty on the Jasmine thing, just so you know. That's not cool. So, yeah. Chris? Jasmine, another girl. Yeah.
Yeah. What about how's your daughter? Is she, you guys?
She's amazing. I just talk to her. I talk to her like 2 hours every day. Sit and talk about everything. Oh, and then did you see that Scott got a GoFundMe page?
No.
You can see that? No.